Have you ever noticed how a cat suddenly appears in your home as if it was sent with a purpose? It walks in softly without fear, finds a quiet place to sit and looks at you with peaceful eyes. You might think it is just an animal passing by, but sometimes Allah allows such moments to happen to remind your heart of something deeper. In Islam, nothing happens without meaning. Every creature, even the smallest one, has a role in the balance that Allah created. Not a leaf falls and not a step is taken except by His command. So when a cat enters your home, it is not coincidence. It may be a gentle sign, a test, or even a message from Allah. Sometimes Allah uses simple things to awaken our hearts. He may send a cat to test your mercy, to remind you of gratitude, or to soften your heart when it has become hard. That small creature can carry a lesson that words cannot teach. Its calmness, its innocence, and the way it trusts without fear are reminders of purity and peace that many of us have forgotten. A cat entering your home can be a quiet moment between you and your Creator, a sign that Allah is near and aware of your heart. It could be His way of asking you to pause, reflect, and reconnect, because in this world nothing moves without His will, and even the smallest sign can lead a believer back to Him. Cats have always held a special and gentle place in Islam. They are pure and clean animals, and they were loved deeply by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He treated them with kindness, allowed them to be near him, and never showed them harm or anger. Through his actions, he taught us that mercy is not only shown to people, but to all living beings. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed by his example that true faith is seen in how you treat what cannot speak back to you. A cat's presence can remind you of that mercy and humility that he lived by. It is a reflection of a heart that understands the connection between creation and the Creator. Because when you care for what Allah has made, you are honoring the one who made it. Sometimes a cat enters your life to teach patience. Sometimes Allah sends it to awaken compassion within you, or to soften a heart that has grown tired or distant. Their gentle eyes, their peaceful nature, and the calm way they sit in silence carry reminders that Allah's mercy surrounds you at every moment. When you look at a cat resting calmly, notice the trust it shows. It does not worry about tomorrow or fear where its next meal will come from. It simply rests with peace in the moment. That trust is the same peace Allah wants you to feel within your heart. When you learn from these small creatures, you begin to see that His mercy is everywhere, even in the smallest of His creations. So, when a cat enters your home, do not rush to see it as just another visitor. It may be a quiet reminder from Allah to pause, to slow down, and to look deeper into your own heart. Sometimes the simplest things carry the deepest lessons, and the softest creatures bring the strongest reminders. Everything in this world moves by the command of Allah. Nothing happens without His wisdom. A cat entering your home might be His way of calling your attention to something your soul has forgotten. Maybe He is reminding you to be gentle again, to open your heart to show mercy, and to reflect on how you treat those who depend on your kindness. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught that Allah shows mercy to those who are merciful to His creation. This means every time you act with kindness and compassion, you are not only helping others, you are bringing mercy closer to yourself. Whether that kindness is toward people or animals, Allah loves the one whose heart is soft and caring. When you feed a hungry cat, when you let it rest safely, when you choose patience instead of irritation, you are not doing something small. You are planting seeds of mercy in your life. Allah watches every act of goodness, and He never lets a sincere heart go unrewarded. So the next time a cat crosses your path or enters your home, remember it could be Allah reminding you that mercy is your greatest strength, and that through showing it, you open the doors of His mercy upon yourself. When a cat comes to your home, it is not just a random visit. It might be Allah reminding you to be gentle, patient, and kind. Sometimes Allah sends small creatures to test how soft your heart really is. Do you see them as a burden or as an opportunity to show compassion? The way you treat something weak and voiceless reveals the true state of your heart. Mercy is not just feeding or sheltering a cat. It is about feeling the pain of others and wanting to ease it. It is about caring for what Allah has created, no matter how small it seems. When you show mercy to a cat that depends on you for food, water, and safety, you are living one of the most beloved qualities to Allah. Maybe you are going through something difficult and you do not realize that by showing kindness to one of Allah's creatures, you are actually bringing mercy into your own life, because Allah never lets mercy go unanswered. The one who gives it receives it. The one who comforts others is comforted by Him. So the next time a cat comes near you, remember that Allah might be calling you to act with love and gentleness. Your small act of kindness could be the reason Allah places peace and mercy in your home. When a cat enters your home and looks at you with hunger or trust, it is not always about the cat needing you. Sometimes it is about Allah testing the gratitude within you. Cats often find their way into homes where hearts are open and kindness flows. They do not come to those who only have plenty, but to those who have softness and generosity in their nature. When you see a cat waiting near your door or walking around your home, it might be a quiet reminder from Allah of how much you already have. The food in your kitchen, the clean water in your tap, the comfort of your home are all blessings that many people do not have. But when you take a small portion from what Allah gave you and feed that animal, you are not losing anything. You are showing that you are grateful. Allah does not need the food you give to His creatures, but He loves the heart that gives. When you feed that cat, you are feeding your soul. You are proving that you recognize every blessing as a trust from Allah. He may be watching to see how you use those blessings, whether you hoard them or share them. Sometimes the cat is not a test of your wealth, but a test of your heart. Will you ignore it, or will you see it as a chance to thank Allah through action? Because true gratitude is not only saying Alhamdulillah with your tongue, it is also showing thankfulness with your hands and with your kindness. So the next time a cat appears at your door, see it as a small test from Allah. Maybe He is reminding you to look at what you have, appreciate it and share it. For the more you give with gratitude, the more Allah will give you in return. When a stray cat enters your home looking weak, hungry or tired, it may not just be a random visit. Sometimes Allah sends such moments to open your eyes to those who are quietly struggling around you. The cat's silence, the way it looks at you, without words, can be a powerful message from Allah, reminding you to notice the ones who need help but cannot ask for it. Maybe someone near you is in pain but hides it behind a smile. Maybe an elderly parent feels lonely but does not complain. Maybe a neighbor is struggling to feed their family but is too shy to speak. Allah might be showing you through that helpless cat that there are others who also depend on your kindness. The cat's weakness becomes a mirror to test your compassion. Will you walk past it, or will you stop to care? The way you respond says a lot about how you treat those who are weaker or quieter than you. Allah does not look at how much you give, but at how sincerely you notice and care for His creation. Neglect often begins with small things. You ignore the one who needs a little attention. You overlook the one who quietly suffers. But when you stop to help even a small creature, you train your heart to be aware of pain and to respond with mercy. So when a helpless cat appears at your door, do not only see an animal in need, see it as a wake-up call from Allah to open your eyes to the silent struggles around you, because the one who cares for the weak earns the care and mercy of the most powerful. Cats are naturally drawn to calm places and peaceful energy. They dislike loudness, anger, and tension. When a cat chooses to rest in your home, it could be a quiet sign that your space is filled with sakina, the tranquility that Allah places. In homes where His name is remembered and hearts are soft, when your home is filled with dhikr, with salah, and with good manners, it becomes a place of barakah. Cats sense that peace and they feel safe around it. Their calm behavior, their willingness to stay or sleep peacefully is not just about comfort, it reflects the calmness that surrounds your environment. Sometimes Allah allows a cat to enter your home to remind you that peace is one of His greatest blessings. If your home feels calm and welcoming, it means Allah has blessed it with stability and mercy. But if a cat seems restless or afraid, it might be a moment to reflect on the state of your heart and your household. A peaceful home does not mean a home without noise. It means a home without anger and pride. It means the hearts inside are gentle and trusting of Allah. When a cat sits quietly in your home, it is almost as if the world has paused to show you what peace looks like. So when you see a cat resting comfortably in your space, take a moment to thank Allah for the blessing of peace and protection that fills your home. Because when your home is a place of mercy, even the creatures of Allah can feel it. When a cat comes into your home and you feel annoyed or disturbed by it, That reaction can reveal something deeper within your heart. Sometimes Allah sends the smallest tests to show you what still needs to be cleansed. A cat is harmless, gentle and innocent. Yet if its presence irritates you or makes you angry, it might be a sign that pride has quietly settled inside your heart. Arrogance does not always show in big actions. Sometimes it appears in how we treat the weak, the voiceless, or those we think are beneath us. When you chase a cat away or treat it harshly, you are not rejecting the animal, you are rejecting an opportunity to show mercy. Allah may be using that small creature to remind you that a proud heart cannot receive mercy because it believes it does not need it. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the most humble man. Though he was the best of creation, he treated even animals with gentleness and never looked down on anyone or anything. His example teaches that humility is not shown in words but in the way we treat what seems small or unimportant. When you lower yourself to show kindness even to a cat, you are not losing dignity, you are rising in the sight of Allah, because the one who humbles himself for Allah is raised by Allah. A kind heart softens with every act of compassion, and every time you choose gentleness over pride, you are polishing your soul. So when a cat comes to you and you feel bothered, pause and reflect. Maybe Allah is reminding you that greatness is not in power or position, but in humility and mercy. Those who walk softly on the earth are the ones honored by Him. Cats are known to sense things that human eyes cannot see. They react to energies around them with calmness or fear, and that can sometimes be a reminder for you to reflect on the spiritual state of your home. When a cat enters your home and remains peaceful, it may be a sign that Allah's protection surrounds your space and that your home carries a sense of safety and tranquility. But if a cat suddenly becomes restless, frightened, or avoids certain corners, it might be a gentle reminder from Allah to strengthen your connection with Him. Sometimes this can be a sign that your home needs more dhikr, more Quran, and more remembrance of Allah. It is not something to fear, but something to act upon. Reciting Ayatul Kursi after every prayer and before sleeping brings powerful protection from Allah. It forms a spiritual shield around you, your family, and your home. Cats can often sense that peace, and they settle calmly where the remembrance of Allah is strong. When you fill your house with Quran, with Salah, and with good energy, your space becomes filled with light and protection from harm. Even the animals of Allah feel at ease in such a place. Their calmness is a quiet reflection of divine peace. So if your cat acts calm, be grateful for the safety Allah has given you. And if it seems disturbed, take it as a sign to renew your dhikr, to recite Ayatul Kursi, and to ask Allah to keep your home under His care. Because the true safety of a house is not in its walls or locks, but in the remembrance of Allah that fills it. When a cat enters your home, it can be a soft and beautiful reminder to look back at the example of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He loved cats and treated them with gentleness and mercy. There are narrations about how he would allow them to sit beside him even while he prayed, and how he never harmed them or spoke harshly to them. His calm and gentle nature reflected the mercy that Allah placed in his heart. When a cat comes into your home, perhaps Allah is calling you to remember that same spirit of kindness. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed compassion to all living beings, not only humans. He cared for animals, spoke softly, and treated them with respect. His actions were a reflection of humility and gratitude to Allah. Sometimes Allah sends these small reminders to help us return to the character of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Maybe your heart has become hard. Maybe you have been too busy or too tired to notice the beauty of mercy. So Allah sends a cat, a creature loved by His messenger, to soften your heart again. Following the example of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not only about praying or fasting, it is also about living with kindness, humility, and balance, to treat creation with care, to avoid harm, and to be gentle even when no one is watching. That is what it means to walk in His footsteps. So when a cat enters your home, do not ignore it. It might be a quiet call from Allah to live more like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to bring mercy into your actions and peace into your home. The way you respond to that small creature could be the way you respond to the example of the best man who ever lived, My dear brothers and sisters, nothing that enters your life is by accident, not even a small cat. Everything that happens around you is by the will of Allah, and sometimes He sends the simplest signs to speak to your heart. A cat's visit may seem small and ordinary, but within it could be a deep reminder, a lesson that your soul needs. When a cat walks into your home, pause for a moment and look beyond what your eyes see. Maybe Allah is using that moment to soften your heart, to remind you to show mercy, to care for the weak, and to stay humble in your blessings. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is noticed by Him. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ lived a life of mercy and gentleness, not only with people but with all of creation. He showed us that true strength lies in compassion, and that a soft heart is a heart loved by Allah. When you follow that path, when you respond to a cat with kindness, patience, and care, you are not just helping a creature, you are feeding your soul and earning the mercy of your Lord. So the next time a cat comes to you, see it as a gift from Allah, a reminder to return to His mercy and to the example of His beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, because the way you treat what is small shows how much you value what is great in the sight of Allah.